Hello, my name is Hannah, and today I wanted to talk to you about emergency situations for people with complex communication needs. People with complex communication needs are defined as needing alternative modalities to communicate, so using something other than spoken speech. Sometimes that's not accessible for everyone, and when those people encounter emergency situations, they can have a hard time accessing the same channels that somebody with access to their voice can. So a couple things that people with complex communication needs can use are alternative and augmentative communication devices, and those can range from a poster board with pictures that they can point to or signal to in some way, maybe using their eyes, or speech-generating devices. When people with complex communication needs encounter emergency situations, it can be really challenging for them to access all the appropriate channels. There are definitely some tragic stories out there of different people with complex communication needs calling 911 and maybe getting hung up on because the dispatcher didn't hear anyone on the other end or didn't hear a problem, and that can be really challenging for people with complex communication needs. There are a few things that you can use if you do have complex communication needs to communicate certain messages in emergency situations. Today I'm going to cover 3 options. The first one is what we call a passport. It's a booklet that you carry around, and it has information pertinent to yourself that can include medications, allergies, personal contacts, emergency contacts. It also can go down to your preferences on what to eat. If you do end up in the hospital, it can discuss kind of your hospital preferences or needs. And the second is very similar to the passport, but it's a little bit smaller. It's what we call a wallet card, and it's just a little card that fits in your wallet. And a lot of times this can give kind of a condensed version of all of those personal information pieces that emergency responders may need, such as allergies, medication, allergies to medication specifically. It can also give emergency responders a good idea about kind of what your baseline is. If you've had a stroke and you now are experiencing aphasia or inability to speak, it can kind of guide them to what that baseline looked like. So maybe it says something like, I had a stroke and I cannot speak, but I can understand everything that you say, and it's really accessible to them. We had emergency responders come into our clinic, and they kind of told us the bits of information that they look for, and those were that baseline kind of operation of the person that they're responding to. Current medications and allergies to medication seem to be the 3 most important pieces of information for them. The last option I wanted to talk about was a phone app. It's another place that you can store the same kind of information. It's available on iPhones and Androids. It's called a medical ID app, and more emergency responders are knowing to look at the phone to find emergency contacts, as well as that information on allergies and medication. It can be set up on your iPhone. It's already installed. On the Android device, it is something that has to be downloaded, but both of them have the option to access it from the home screen. So if you do have a passcode on your phone, the emergency responders don't need to enter that to access this information. I hope you learned something today, and if you have any questions, you can comment. Thanks.